Happy Wednesday, good people. It is Wednesday. Good afternoon, Miss Vicky, Desi, Lisa, Pastor Treasure is on. Y'all, I got a treat for y'all today, so y'all got to get this number up. Come on in. Don't let me look crazy out here in these streets. It's Wednesday. It's a rainy Wednesday. We've been experiencing rain all week long. I see you, Kevin Newbell and Miss Joyce. We've had rain all week long, but it's a good day. It's a great day. I've got a great guest for you today. Hello, Dr. Jamal. And then tonight is our Connecting Child. If you've registered, it's an opportunity that we sit down and connect with the members. So I'm looking forward to that. Michelle said, love the suit you had on Sunday. Thank you. That was a one of a kind. Thanks to Udi for finding that. Pastor B is watching. Hey, Mom. Let's see. So tonight's Connecting Child, but we will still have Better Self Night online. Hey, Tiffany, sending your mom stuff for, what's coming up. What else is happening? Saturday is Life Surge. So for all of our members that volunteered for Life Surge, it's going to be absolutely amazing. We are hosting and allowing them to use our facility. Priscilla Schreier, Tim Tebow. It's a whole list of people. It's going to be real good. So volunteers, you'll receive an email today. Hey, cousin, my cousin is on here today for that. What else do I have to tell y'all about? And y'all know what's really about to be popping. Next Wednesday is Revival Night. Yep. My friend is coming to Houston, Texas for Revival Night. You don't want to miss it. I hope you have registered. January 31st, 7 p.m. Be in the building. I want you to check out this promo that we have for it. Really, I want to get you hyped. And then I'm going to bring on a special guest. Y'all know they got to be real special for me to bring them on to Lunchtime Live. So he's going to do a little takeover today because anytime he shows up, he takes over. But check this out and I'll be right back.
You're in the middle of something that's taking too long. Cheer up. You're in the middle of a situation and you're ready to quit. God said, perhaps what has you stuck now is not the storm, but your mouth. Real faith, yes, knows how to change your attitude in the situation and how to talk in the situation before you ever come out. Cheer up.
Are you ready to experience a night that will reignite your faith and leave you feeling rejuvenated? Get ready for Revival Night, January 31st, 7 p.m., New Light Church North location. Bishop Rudolph McKissick will be joining us for an unforgettable evening of worship, praise, and spiritual renewal. Whether you have been a part of our church family for years or are new to the faith, this is an event you don't want to miss. Also, Light Commerce Credit Union will be having a special lobby experience for all guests and members alike. So mark your calendars, January 31st, 7 p.m., New Light Church North, and get ready to be empowered, inspired in your faith journey. Revival Night with Bishop Rudolph McKissick is just around the corner and the anticipation is building. Let's come together and experience the incredible move of God.
It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. The worship is gonna be amazing. The word's gonna be great. And yeah, it's a life experience for you for sure. I'm excited. And so because he is my friend, I called and said, hey, I need you to join me on Lunchtime Live. So y'all welcome Bishop Rudolph McKissick to Lunchtime Live.
What's going on?
What's going on, friend?
You didn't ask me to come on. You told me to just be here. Let's just set the record straight.
Oh, I kind of did. Hey, Apostle Dumas, you are always a blessing to us. Y'all, welcome my friend, Bishop McKissick. I started because I was trying to find a picture of us, and I realized we go back. I cannot believe we have been friends through dangers seen and unseen, through trials and tribulations.
Listen, Kim and I were talking about that recently, that we met. It had to be what, 2011?
2011.
Yeah. That's what, 13 years? 14 years?
Yeah, 13 years ago.
Wow.
It'll be 13 years in February.
It doesn't seem like it's been that long. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. First of all, for those of y'all don't know, we are friends. We fight like brothers and sisters
Ooh,
because
do we?
he's an only child. We have spats that we
What does that have to do with anything? What is going on?
what that you're an only child.
Yes.
Oh, because you will give it to me.
I'm the favorite of the Hilliard children.
You are. Mommy's on here watching. But
Hey,
no,
Mom.
I am grateful for our friendship, grateful for your ministry. And you have been doing revival for me for, oh God, I'm going to set myself up for you to say something. But you've been doing revival for me
Since you at the West.
since I was at the West. I'm so proud of you. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you because
Yes.
I just knew there was getting ready to be a petty moment.
No, because you told the folk I'd take over, so I'm intentionally not going to take over.
Oh, Dad is watching too.
Apostle. Hey,
Yeah.
Dad. I think Kim was trying to get somewhere to watch. She was driving, so I don't know
Well,
if
tell her she can watch on my Instagram. Be
yeah.
safe, or YouTube. YouTube will play. So yeah, friend, you've been doing revival since probably like 2014, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
it's amazing. I look back, I went because I was at first going to post a picture like from a past revival. And I looked back at my phone. I was like, we've been doing this really almost, I think probably this would be the 10th year of us doing revival. And every year is so refreshing. And so what are you looking forward to this year? Because you're no stranger to the light.
No.
So what are you looking forward to?
Obviously, looking forward to fellowship. Kim's coming with me, so we get to hang out, with the fam. So we're looking forward to that. But as far as Revive Night, I'm really looking forward to seeing people's faith challenged and stretched. I'm in a strange season, and people keep telling me this. 2023 was a year of overcoming in some very intimate areas in my life, as you know, with my mom and my dad. And I don't want to say it changed my preaching, but it did something to me as I was in that season of faith overcoming. That I think I'm a little different even in preaching, and I think God has really put a fresh oil on me, and I'm really looking forward to speaking into the life of everybody that comes. We've declared this year at our church, this is the year of intentionality. So I'm very intentional with everything I do. And I'm coming with a very intentional word, and I'm believing it's going to be the way to jumpstart everybody's 2024 with intentionality as it relates to their faith, their healing, their business, their finances, their relationships. I think it's going to be major. I do.
I'm expecting it to be major. You said this is the year of intentionality. We have this is the year of intentional faith. And so this is our intentional faith revival. Yes.
Now, let me tell you what's really, that's the title of the sermon I'm preaching next Wednesday.
Intentional faith?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the intentional faith revival.
That's crazy.
So, he hasn't seen the promo or anything.
I haven't. No, but the Lord had already spoken to me about which lesson to bring. Yeah. And that's the name of the lesson.
Yeah. And so it's the intentional faith revival. And I really, as your friend, I've seen you last year have to be intentional, even in your faith, and really kind of pressing forward in your faith. And so I got a question I want to ask, but this intentional faith is going to produce incredible results despite what others are saying, because you can get overwhelmed in the fear of the what ifs, or the inflation, it's the election. It's so many things that are coming up that can bring the believer to a place of fear, but you have to know that your intentional faith will produce incredible results. I had a front row seat to watch you as your friend when Dad was overcoming. And there were moments, I remember talking to you one night, and we just kind of were like, okay.
Right.
And
right.
What has what do you have to do? Because I think I want to encourage somebody right now, even before they get to revival. But what did you have to do when all things looked almost like all the odds were stacked against you? Like it looked like, okay, get yourself together almost.
Yeah. You know, it sounds so simple, but it's true. I chose to believe the report of the Lord and
Yeah.
not the report of the doctor or the report of my eyes. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I think sometimes you can get caught up in the report that your eyes want to give you. And I had to really just be very intentional about believing the report of the Lord, that my father was healed.
Yeah.
And part of it was also speaking into my father, that there were just certain things we weren't going to say. There
Yeah.
were just certain things we weren't going to talk about because we were going to be very intentional with not only our language, but we were going to be very intentional with our prayers. Because I believe faith is only intentional when faith is targeted. We have so many folk that speak general things. I'm believing this is my year, that kind of thing. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I don't think that's intentional. Because for me, intentional faith is targeted faith. It is specific
Mm-hmm.
about what I'm believing for, what I'm asking for, what I'm claiming according to the word of God. And so and that's where the whole intentionality thing came from for me for this year, because I was very intentional
Yeah.
with my prayers as it related to that. It wasn't just, Dad, God, whatever your will is. No, no, no. That's not what I prayed. I
Yeah.
was intentional about what I knew the word of the Lord said I could have, and that's what I asked for.
Yeah, and I like how you said that's what I asked for, because you have to speak that. It's
Yes,
not just one thing to have it in your head. It's
right,
not just one thing to think it, but you had to actively speak it.
right.
And many times you had to speak against what
Yes,
everything else was saying to you.
yes, yes. I did a sermon, you'll like this. I did this sermon Sunday from where Jesus stills the storm, and they came and said, Master, don't you care that we're drowning? And one of the points I made that I'd never thought about before, they wake Jesus up and Jesus stills the storm before he says anything to them. And
Mm,
I asked the question, why does he still the storm? And it was because what they were saying out of his mouth wasn't in agreement with what he had already spoken over their life. We're going to the other side. They're saying we're going to drown. So Jesus deals with what's making them speak fear so
mm.
that he could then calm the storm, because faith can't work where fear exists.
Come
And
on.
so I had to be careful what I said in those times with dad, not only with dad, but with mom. Faith and fear don't exist in the same space.
Yeah.
The spirit of fear. As Apostle tells us all the time, you're trusting and trembling. But the
Mhm.
spirit of fear cannot exist, because when you got the spirit of fear, you'll have the language of fear and you have what you say. So I had to be very careful about how I talked during those times.
Do y'all see him just dropping these nuggets? Here, y'all know lunchtime live, we get nuggets. It's like our,
Oh,
our spiritual food, just dropping these nuggets. I
yes,
was
sir.
gonna tell you, send me the notes, and because he sends me notes when he want to be nice to me. Send me the notes from
Whatever.
Sunday. I'm in this series now called Me and God. And I keep
I
saying,
saw you all flyed out Sunday and everything. I saw.
faith is fly. Faith is intentional and it's fly too. I mean, I'm just saying.
Lord, you sound like my wife.
It,
She be
it-
fly on Sunday. I'm like, y'all look like y'all going to fashion shows. What is going on?
come before the Lord.
Lord
You're
Jesus.
supposed to come before the Lord. Come into His presence. Ready? Listen. Hey, whatever works. Don't be. I be seeing the sneakers that you wear. So do not,
Now,
don't
how
start.
beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of
See, now
Jesus.
you're gonna find an actual scripture to try to, justify your situation. Okay, so look, they don't know that we go in and out like this
Right,
in our
right,
conversations,
right.
from joking to. Well, I want to get back to your intentional faith, because one of the things for me is that in this Me and God series, I'm really telling people it's about you really staying focused on your relationship with God. That me and God, I would say me and God got a thing going on. And last Sunday, I talked about the fear of God. That the fear of God is not that he's some cosmic bully, but having this reverence, this respect, this worship for God. And it's easy for us to drift from being intentional in the gathering together. But why do we need revival when a person could say, why do I need to go to a revival night when I can pray?
That is such a good question. Your car has a certain mileage they give you that determines when you need to come in and have it serviced.
Mm-hmm.
And you can fool yourself because your car can be driven past the date it needs to be serviced. But if you keep driving that car, eventually it will break down. We can be fooled because we still function. Revival is servicing time.
Yeah.
And I think we can get fooled just like we get fooled in the car because the car is still functioning. We think that the car is all right. And I think as believers, we think because we're still moving, that my faith doesn't need a servicing. I think revival is important because we need servicing. We need a checkup. We need to come in and be challenged and be stretched and be convicted and see where we need to switch up some things in our faith. So, I'm believing for everybody. No believer should say revival isn't for me, because just like your car has to be serviced to function properly, your spirit person has to be serviced to function properly.
That's so good. And it's that servicing time, it's that realignment. And what I'm looking forward to revival night being, it's a time of spiritual renewal.
Yeah.
That while we have the list of things that we want God to do this year, that spiritual renewal is that refocusing back on
Right.
putting the first things first and what's priority for our lives. And that I may have my list, but if God's not in the list, I don't want that list. If it's
Right.
not going to bring glory to him, then I don't want it. And so I see revival, and we've said it on the commercial. It's a time of spiritual renewal, a time of rejuvenation, a time of, reignitement. And it's not that you haven't been on fire for God,
Right.
but there's
Right.
a whole nother level that God wants to take us to this year. Our church will be celebrating 40 years in ministry all year long.
Wow.
And there's another level that God has for us. And revival night, it has always been that infusion of faith. It's been that checkup, that servicing, so that you can progress through the rest of the year. And I started doing these quarterly, but we always start with Bishop McKissick coming to Houston, Texas.
Yeah, you demoted me. I used to do 2 or 3 nights, and then you just, gave me one night, and then you went to once a quarter, and but no, I'm just playing.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I was just waiting on how long it was going to take you to be a little petty. It was coming. But in one night, we in that one night,
it's been amazing.
It's amazing.
No, it's been amazing. And you're right. You were talking about level. We use that phrase a whole lot. There's levels to this.
Yeah.
And I said this Sunday, I am thoroughly convinced God will let you live on whatever level you choose, even when that's not the level he wants for you. And so
hold on. Say that again.
God will let you live on whatever level you choose, even if it's not the level he has for you. So in other words, I want everybody that's watching to come desirous of another level of faith. Because if you don't have the desire for that other level, God will say, okay, if that's where you want to settle, I'll let you do that. And you'll miss so many things God has. I mean, I'm a living witness. I say this a lot, but it's true. Before God connected me with you all, and especially with Apostle, and I'm going to say mom and dad, because of how it took, Kim and I to another level, not only in marriage, but in ministry. I was settled on a level that I thought was good enough for ministry. I was settled on a level of preaching. I was preaching all over the country. I'm known all over the country, but it was being exposed in a very intimate way to you all, and being introduced to the real power of faith that not only let me know there was another level, but then I had to desire that level for me to really walk in it. And so, everybody needs to come to Revive desiring another level and knowing that there's levels to this. You're not on the highest level of faith, which means you're not even on the highest level of blessings, and you just got to desire it.
That's so good. First of all, I got to go back because Dad is saying we need more nights. We want more nights.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
T is on here. T, like, you've always been a part of it, so don't do that. And so, T on here. You just said something, and I thought about it: the environment and the exposure. And I can say this, that the connection with you, Mom, Dad, me. I can say this, but I want to hear it from you. That how has this environment of faith challenged you? Because based on what happened in 2023, your language was totally different. And I think it's a result of the environment that you've been in. So how big is the environment? Because a lot of people say, well, I'll just watch it at home. And I'm saying, no, you need to get to the building and be in that environment. There's some things that you just don't catch just online. Thank God for online. But that presence in the building, but how has the environment and the exposure that you can really say, no, I can trace that back to the exposure in the environment?
I think one of the main ways you really just answered for me, language. I now am cognizant when I'm saying something that doesn't have the language of faith in it. And so I self-correct my language now, which I never did before. I also correct others because I don't want them to speak what they don't want. That's one main reason, one main result. Another result is with for years, Kim ran from ministry. It was Pastor Deborah Morton who initially prophesied over Kim about ministry, and she ran. When we started coming together, and got in the environment of Mom and Dad, it gave her the comfort level, but it also took the scales off her eyes for what God had for her and for us in team ministry and team leadership. And then I began to want it for my children. Because I saw you and Presh and and Tina. I saw that. And then my children began to get active. Jocelyn is on staff. Josh works in the sound ministry. Janae lives in Orlando, but she is intricately involved at Prophet Hall's church. Being in that environment showed me who I needed to be. But being in that environment also showed me what I had the power to ask for as it relates to my family.
What I had the power to ask for. And I think that is another part of the intentional faith process, is understanding your power to ask for the big and expect the big. Like, I think sometimes, I want to go back to what you said, that, God will let you live on the level as long as what. But you got to start asking God for the next level. And then you need to be in a faith environment that's going to stimulate you to say, he can handle it. He can handle that.
Yeah, you have to be in that environment. I mean, I really can't we don't even have time enough for me to talk about all the ways being in that environment has affected me. It's also taken my desire for other environments. There's just some environments I don't even want to be in now. There's some environments I don't even miss now. That because environments come with consequences. And I don't mean that negatively, but getting in environments require changes and transitions, changes in relationships, changes in thinking. all of that. And so, environment is important. It is.
Yeah. I believe that there's going to be some great doors of opportunity this year,
Yeah.
some great advancement, but you can't wait till the second quarter to try to get
No,
ready for it. You
no,
got it. So revival to me, like you said, is service, but it's also preparation for what's ahead. And
absolutely.
when you're in a faith fight, that's not the time to then be like, let me go find this scripture. Because
No.
you can say some of the faith fights, they were happening last year, where some of them were happening on the heels, one after another.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you didn't have time to be like, let me go and
No.
find that. What was that scripture? You
No.
got to have that word in you. You
Yeah.
got to be prepared for it before it even happens, so that it flows out of you and you don't get distracted by the new report, or
Yeah.
this change or this change. And so I think that's what people have to understand too, is that revival night and coming to church and gathering together and building up your faith intentionally is the preparation that's needed for the next.
Yeah. And I'm really believing it's going to be the best one yet. I really, really do. I think it's going to be powerful. Even Kim was, because Kim is always commenting to me about there's just something different about you now. There's something different. So at first I didn't, Dad was supposed to be with us.
Yeah.
So I just made the assumption, Kim was gonna stay on with Dad. Kim said to me, "Oh, so you think I'm not going?" She was like, I'm not about to miss what's going down in Houston, because she's also believing that it's going to be an amazing night. It is. We joke a lot, but I I acknowledge there's something different on me now. Um, there's just something different on me now, and I'm ready. I'm ready to do what we gonna do,
Well, we are ready. And what we gonna say?
and I'm ready to get some of that food that you only get.
That you only get in Houston. Now one thing, your friend don't cook, but I'm
No,
gonna
no,
make
no.
sure you eat well.
I'm not asking you to cook.
Oh, you don't want me to cook, but
No.
all the other people that will cook,
Yeah,
mommy will make sure, because mom and dad make sure they are in town for you.
they love me.
They do. They do. They do. And I'm not gonna get into who's the favorite son, because I don't want no parts of that foolishness.
But listen. Flesh and blood did not reveal. I mean,
You are a mess. You made me lose my train of my thought. Oh, and that's what I was gonna say. Not only is it going to be, the word is going to be powerful, the worship. I am
yeah,
seeing our services and the worship at the light go
yeah,
to a whole nother level. So I just need people to be prepared, to come with an expectation,
absolutely.
to rearrange your schedule, because this is the service. And we say it like that, service, church service, but this is the service
Yeah.
that your spirit needs to awaken some dry places in your life.
Woo. Yes, Lord, I like that. That resonated.
Yeah.
It's going to be an amazing night. I mean, and all of them last year you had, I joke around about you changed it up and everything, but everyone you had last year was really, really powerful. I mean, each one, and we want to start it off right
Yeah.
and build on each of them. Because it's an amazing thing. It is an amazing thing. And I'm honored whenever I, get to come and share. I'm really, really honored, and get to come do my thing. I'm gonna do what I do.
It's prophetic, because most people don't realize that you do flow prophetically. It is prophetic. It's the prophetic night. It's
Yeah.
a principal night.
Yeah.
It's a praise night, but it's also, I go back to that. It's that preparation for what's ahead. This will
With the alliteration.
Listen, I've been hanging around you and Dad long enough. I'm 6 years in.
Listen,
So,
I don't have that alliteration. That's Dad. I can't do it.
oh, you'll do some. You'll do some. Don't stop. Don't start. You will do some.
No, now that's Kim. Now Kim got that dad anointing on her with those
Oh,
alliterations.
she does.
Oh my Lord, she comes up with them, and I'm just like, where did she come up with that? Mhm.
You know, but you can tell the story and you can walk the text, and then
Oh,
you can
I
go.
can have great conversations about Calvary. Yes.
I'm so proud of you today. You were very nice to me today. We're
Absolutely.
almost done.
I'm in revival, so I'm under consecration right now.
Oh, okay. That's why you being nice to me
I'm
today.
in Mississippi.
You are in Mississippi. See how much you love me that you took time in
It is.
Mississippi to
Well,
jump
this
on
man, he
lunchtime.
called me 4 times. He ready to take me to get some Mississippi food. So,
Well,
you know,
you
I
gotta
love you.
wait. We're almost done, and you're gonna go get some Mississippi
Hey,
food.
Dad, I had some Mississippi catfish yesterday.
You know, Dad doesn't like catfish.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Dad doesn't like it.
Well,
And you know what he gonna say? It's probably not as good as my fish in my lake. So you know,
I'm sure that's what he's going to say. But this Mississippi, I don't know.
it was good. It was pretty
Woo!
good.
It's
All the
what?
Mississippi people out there, he giving y'all some good love and
It's
good
the
stuff.
fish Jesus cooked on the beach after resurrection. That's what it was.
Is that biblical or is that what you just came up with?
It was catfish.
How you know that? See, he was doing so well. He was doing so well. All right, y'all. Revival night, January 31st, 7 p.m. Register. Registration is free. But y'all know when you register, we always hook you up with something. newlight.org/411. Final thoughts, friend.
Listen, I want everybody to really go into prayer about things you're believing and expecting, and come believing that God's going to give you answers on next Wednesday. But I want you to begin praying now, 7 days out, and believe and expect that God's going to give you some answers next Wednesday.
Absolutely. I love that. You know, we're finishing our fast. We've been on our January fast.
Long as it's okay, because y'all, there are several years y'all did this to me where I came and the fast was going on.
It'll be over. It ends on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, it need to be over.
But I do think that they do need to continue and take this a week to really allow God
That's
to
good.
reveal to them even some things and write it down. Some
Mhm.
things that may even seem bigger. If he drops it in your spirit, write it down. And I believe that as we're gathering together on next Wednesday for revival night, that God will give the answers, God will
Yes.
give the revelation and the action step to bring it to pass. Mom said it was not catfish. So we're gonna leave it at that. Thank you, friend. I am grateful. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you. It is amazing. My succession has been easier because I have a friend like you. I'll say that.
Listen,
It has
God orchestrates. I mean, it's amazing. My succession was made easier because of your dad at moments where I wanted to move away.
yeah.
And I think God was just putting that in place so I could be there, to give you wisdom, whatever wisdom I can give based on what I've been through.
Yeah.
And we need to write a book on this thing or do a conference.
I told you, I think we need to do a conference. I keep telling you
Yes.
that we really need to do a conference. After we did that session at
Never mind. I can't do that. I can't do that. I cannot do that until I fulfill my obligation that I promised the apostle about my preaching conference.
So you got to do your preaching conference
I'm gonna
first.
preach the conference first.
So you know what? I'm going to help you because planning conferences is not what you like to do.
I don't. And then 2023, I got discombobulated with everything going on, but I've got to get focused and get this thing.
So
going.
even though I have a full plate, I got to help you get this conference and plan this conference out.
I got to
and lay it out. So we have to work on that. And maybe at the preaching conference, you have a succession moment.
I was just thinking about that.
At
Yep.
the preaching conference, but you are by far a preaching, I don't want to say machine, but you have the oil of God on your life. We joke a lot. We became friends, but I'm grateful for the gift that is on your life. I'm grateful for your ability to hear from God and just for having you as that I can call you friend. A lot of people be like, y'all friends? We are absolutely friends. And then Kim and the kids and the family, and that God joined our families together.
Yeah.
The way he did was absolutely amazing. So I'm always looking forward to revival. Would not start the year off without having you here at the Light. And you know, you don't just get an invitation because you're my friend.
Oh,
You get an invitation because you got a word that I believe is going to bless the people. Y'all got some good nuggets today, so I hope y'all wrote those down. Next Wednesday, T, you know, Bishop going to be looking for you. January.
Yes. I'm looking for you, Trigil.
Not that you called her out. I just said T. Not that you're going to call my friend out. But we are looking forward to it. It's going to be great. New Light Church, North location. We're going to end with the spot. Once again, make sure you go register. Thank you, friend.
Hey, girl.
Tell the pastor, send the pastor my regards. Tell him I appreciate, you know, for letting you take about 30 minutes of your time.
I'm getting ready to go get some more catfish.
Oh, my God. T says she'll be here. So
She better.
Y'all check this out and have an amazing day. See you on live tonight and so many of the great things that we're having here at the Light.
You're in the middle of something that's taking too long. Cheer up. You're in the middle of a situation and you're ready to quit. God said perhaps what has you stuck now is not the storm but your mouth. Real faith, yes, knows how to change your attitude in the situation and how to talk in the situation before you ever come out. Cheer up.
Are you ready to experience a night that will reignite your faith and leave you feeling rejuvenated? Get ready for Revival Night, January 31st, 7 p.m., New Light Church, North location. Bishop Rudolph McKissick will be joining us for an unforgettable evening of worship, praise, and spiritual renewal. Whether you have been a part of our church family for years or are new to the faith, this is an event you don't want to miss. Also, Light Commerce Credit Union will be having a special lobby experience for all guests and members alike. So mark your calendars, January 31st, 7 p.m., New Light Church North, and get ready to be empowered, inspired in your faith journey. Revival Night with Bishop Rudolph McKissick is just around the corner and the anticipation is building. Let's come together and experience the incredible move of God.